Hello friends and welcome back to our tutorial series. In our last video we saw how we can do the filtration in our page as well as we have saw the results for that. Let's say if I am doing here searching for an IT department, if I just simply write an IT, so whatever department name contains IT, it will show you the record for that. In the same way, if I just press a department ID, it is going to show me the department ID record for that particular filter. So in today's video, we are going to work on a dialog box wherein we are going to add a button as in add department button. And once you click that button, it is going to show us a dialog box, which is again, we are going to use a material design table for material design dialog box for that. Let us see how we can do that. So to do that, let's go back to our code, and in that we have to go to show department component.html page. Okay, so at the moment what we are doing here is we are simply uh, showing the records from our database within the table, and now we want to add one button which is going to pop up a model. So for that what you have to do is button and class, and we'll use class as margin top 2, and then we'll say mat raised button. It's a material design thing, and then we are going to add one event here, is a click event, which will call a method on add method. So we haven't written this method yet, we'll soon write that. And then we are saying color of our button should be primary, so color equal to primary primary, and just close the button tag, and inside that just write add department. Okay, let us see the results in our page. Let's go back to our page, click on departments, and here you can see we have a button called add department. So at the moment we have nothing to show here. If you just press right click, inspect element, so it will just show you that it is just a simple button. It's a primary button here. Okay, let me just do it little bit. Okay, so it is just a primary button. uh, so we are going to add some events to it, and then those events will work as per our requirement. So let us see how to add the event. To add the event, what we can do is we got to import a couple of mat controls. So let us go back to our code, and in that just go to show dep component.ts, and here we have to import couple of mat controls. So before importing anything, let's just write uh, the code for displaying the models. In order to do that, what we have to do is we have to inject one more service. We will call it as private, and we'll call it as dialog, and it is of type mat dialog. If you just press tab here, so it will import the mat dialog. You see here, so it is importing the mat dialog from our Angular material. Okay, the next thing which we want to do now is here we have to add the function that we declared in our HTML file, which is on add. So we are going to add this method. To add this method, just to save our time, I have the code available. I'll just copy and paste in here. So I'll simply add that code here. So here you can see that in the on add method, we are creating one constant called dialog config, and in a couple of seconds, we'll just import this control directory. So just click on this bulb, and here called add my dollar config to existing import. So if you just click this here, you can see that here we have got mat dialog config directory added. Okay, so we are creating an instance of that because what we want to do is we want to pop up a model window wherein we are going to, write couple of fields, couple of form, text fields, buttons and all that. But for that, to add those text fields, to add those buttons, we need a model pop-up. Okay, so this model mat dialog config will open that pop-up for us, and here disable close means at the moment we are just saying that once you open the pop-up we don't want to close it, so we are disabling that close. And autofocus is true, which means that it will pop up with that window in the center of your screen. And what we are saying here is with width is equal to 70%, which means that we want our width to be 70% of our screen. Now you can see here that it is showing a problem here with our add depth component, because first of all we have to import our app depth component in our local file, which is show depth component dot ts file. So I'm importing it. Okay, once you import it here, you'll see that we have imported the app dev component from our the location. So if you just go back to source app, and under app you have department, and under department you have add department, and under add department you have your component, right? So this is where we are getting this from. Once you add that, still it is showing some problem here in this dot dialog dot open. So let us see if we have written the correct spelling. So yeah, here you see the spelling of dialog is dialog. So I'll just copy this, and we'll just simply replace the one. So now here we have a injector variable called dialog, and we are using the dialog. So what we want is, upon clicking on that add button, this function will be invoked, and then a model pop-up will come. Let us see what is the effect of this in our app. If I just go here, click on departments, so it is giving some errors. Uh, so what we have forgot here is we also need to add this app depth component within our app module.ts file. So if you just go to that file, which is app module.ts file, and if you just go down little bit here, we have to add one more thing called entry components. Okay, entry components. All right, sorry for that. Entry components, entry components, and then just within this angle bracket you just have to add your app component thing. So we just write here add depth component. Okay, this is the component was required to be added. If you just go back to our component as well, so this is app.component. Okay, so I hope that should resolve our problem. Just forgot to give you a comma, so just give comma as well. So now without any errors, if you just see your terminal, so in problems we don't see any such problems. Okay, so let's go back and check here. So if I click on departments now, still it is giving some problem to us. So there must be something. Let's press F12 and let's see what is the error. So here it is giving some injection error, static injection error. Okay, that we'll see in a minute that what exactly the error is. So the error is, so the error, if you can see here that it is pointing to show depth component, and it is showing that mat dialog. So if you come across this kind of error, so first of all check in your app module.ts file. So we'll just go to app module.ts file here, and here we have to import that module. So we forgot to import that, so I'll just simply place comma here, and I'll say mat dialog, mat dialog, DIALOG, mat dialog module. and here it is showing you the bulb. So if you have not mat icon, it is a mat dialog. So just make sure that it is there, and you have to import a directory for this. And for that, what we have to do is we just have to import here. Okay, I'll just copy this and I'll just paste it here, and I'll say mat dialog, mat dialog module. And if you just copy this and just come back to imports. Yeah, Mat dialog. Spelling is always important, so make sure that you're writing correct, name. Otherwise, you will be end up in errors. So let's go back to our application, and now here you can see that everything is perfectly fine. We don't have any errors. If I just click on departments here, and if I click on department now, so it is showing me the model, and under model we are getting the value as at deb works, which is nothing but we are getting this value from our you see, if you go to add deb uh, component .html, so here this is the value. Okay, so that's it. We'll end up this video here, and we'll continuing with more features, to add into these models. So until then, we thank you for visiting our videos. Keep learning, and do visit our videos on regular basis. We'll see you in our next video. Until then, thank you. Bye.